What's up, guys? I'm a fish, and today I'm going to be continuing my Humanity Restart series. In the last video, we saw a war in India. We saw the red team completely collapse. We saw the entirety of the British Isles get their independence during a massive war in Western Europe. We saw South India do some colonization over here and over here. We saw the expansion of this Triangle Alliance into Malaysia and this country right here. I introduced some of the new features that I created. Also, by the way, this is what South India's sea territory looks like now, since they have, colonies to the east and west of them. The biggest event in that episode was something that didn't actually happen. Now let me explain. At the very end of episode 19, I think that was, I said that the leader of the Turkish state, while visiting this port city right here, was attacked and murdered. His death sends outrage throughout all of Turkey. But what outrages the Turkish people even more is who takes control of the empire. Now you see, I pointed out how the everybody in the empire was pointing fingers at different people on who is responsible for the king's death. The person that took control of the empire, the heir to the throne, is one of the half the country thinks it was him that organized the attack of the king. And now that he's in power, about half the country doesn't want to be under his rule. They think he's a murderer. So, Turkish Civil War, anybody? So first, we see a massive group of northern Anatolian territory and a lot of the Balkans rising up against the government and immediately seizing control of the capital city. So the new king of Turkey is going to be quickly escorted away from the capital city and brought to a safer location over here at this port city. The rebels, first, a group of rebel militias over here in Greece are going to immediately start to attempt to take all of Greece, which is going to go incredibly successfully, as they managed to take most of these islands rise up to. They managed to take this world's version of Athens and push into Peloponnesia. This is Peloponnesia, right? Yeah, the Peloponnesian War. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, at the same time, they begin to push up the northern coast of Anatolia into the Caucasus. And after taking this major port city, we're actually going to see a lot of this area rise up as well to fight the government. Now, once the Turkish soldiers are mobilized, they immediately push to retake the capital city from the rebels and push up to try and retake this major port city up here, but are stopped. Now, while the Turkish armies are fighting up north, we're going to see more rebels down here in this recently conquered area. Now, I'm not marking occupied territory in the Civil War because, it's all the red is basically occupied territory. It's a civil war, not really a rebellion. Although that's not to say that a lot of these red-colored places aren't looking for independence here, because again, they want to separate themselves from the new government, the new king. And if that means independence to get away from the new king, then that's what they're going to do. While some places are just flat out trying for independence, like all this occupied territory here. This is the Caucasian people. They remember. the country here. They want independence. Over here, they were conquered last episode, I think. Of course, they want independence. Maybe it wasn't last episode. I don't know. Anyway, oh, by the way, these rebel groups may or may not be being funded by a certain someone labeled 2 on this map with a very, very big 2. Anyway, here in Caucasia, now that the area is united under the rebellions, they are going to push down and take this area that was originally they were the original red team right here. So that's not that this rebellion has anything to do with the red team. The red team, they're officially gone now. This is just an interesting fact. This is basically the start of civilization right here. Anyways, yeah, they're going to then push down. I should maybe turn the brush size down a bit. Oh, I accidentally switched the tool. Yeah, they're going to maybe a little more. Push down and capture. Oh, okay. One more try. Push down and capture all of this area right here. 3 more major cities, and then begin to push down to unite with the rest of the occupied territory right here. But while all that was happening, the Turkish managed to retake the port city and push into Thrace, capturing another 2 more port cities, and basically Istanbul. And they connected up that territory with the rest, now pushing up the coastline to get to Caucasia. Now, back to over here. Yeah, the rest of Greece is captured by the rebels, and Crete rises up, and that island, what I think Rhodes, I don't know, and Cyprus is going to rise up. Now, as the rebels close in on this area, we actually start to see small pockets in the region start to rise up as well. And one of those big, and the most important one is going to be one in this port city, which basically blocks off this entire area from the rest of Turkey. Because now you don't just need a coastline for ships to go places. You need port cities now. So yeah, this area is going to fall to the rebellion. Meanwhile, over here, Turkish forces do manage to cut the rebellion into, well, now 3 pieces. But while they were doing that, more rebels broke out in basically Naples here. Actually, also this port city and this port city. And yeah, that city. So yeah, now they're stuck. Sardinia over here is going to be cut into 2 groups as the south of the island starts fighting the north. Fortunately for the Turkish, though, they will manage to swiftly retake both cities and crush the rebellion in Sardinia. Meanwhile, they managed to retake both of these port cities on the opposite sides of the Adriatic, kind of the Adriatic, kind of the mouth to the Adriatic. Anyway, but the rest of the rebellion in Italy manages to reunite while also pushing into Sicily, capturing that major city and a lot of the coastline. But they don't get the port city, though. That's good. Then we are actually going to see someone declare war on Turkey officially. Ukraine. Because, just like Ukraine in real life, they want Crimea. So yeah, they're going to push in and they're just going to take Crimea. And then they are immediately going to go for peace. Yep. Because, I mean, the Turkey's just going to accept it. They can't really fight them at this point. So anyway, they're going to push the rebels. Going to take all of this land here away from the rebels. But this is pretty much about as far as they get before they see more rebels pop up in an area they really can't fight in right now, being Iberia. it's going to start in the west here by Portugal. I wonder if that is maybe just a coincidence. Or, hmm, maybe they were being supplied. Up here in Galicia, and the Balearic Islands. And I will say, out of these three groups, two of them were being supplied. One of them just broke away on its own. Anyway, yeah, here in Iberia, there's really not many Turkish armies around since most of them were moving over to Eastern to fight where the rebellions were focused. Fortunately, that left Iberia open to rebel itself, and quickly the entire thing is under rebellious territory. Here in the Balkans, we see small rebellion victories in a few major cities. They managed to cut this major city off from the rest of Turkey and then push in and capture it. Meanwhile, in the Caucasus, the Turkish armies that are trying to push in here are kind of getting stuck here. So yeah, that's not good. And now they're pushing up from Middle East. Captured that major port city. And some suspiciously Persian-looking soldiers are going to march down the southern coast, right towards the capital city and those major cities, where they're then going to, on January 6th, the definitely not Persian forces are going to reach the capital city of Turkey once again. So yeah, now this is looking bad. And then yeah, once the capital falls for the second time, it's over. More groups start to pop up in various places, such as Croatia up here, who finally breaks away. Sardinia falls again, Sicily all falls, the rest of Naples falls. The Croatians push south, taking all of Bosnia, meeting up with the Greeks in Albania. All of this cut off area very quickly falls. Then the rebels connect up all of their territory as the Turkish armies begin to just get tired and quit. And yeah, it's over. It is all over. So let's see what comes out of this. This is what the Turkish state looks like now. So yeah, it's lost the vast majority of its territory. Yeah, over here in Iberia, and Galicia is back. It's a different color because I don't remember what color it was. The coastline is all independent. We got the rest of it. We got the Balearic Islands. Sicily and Sardinia are both independent. Naples is independent. We got Greece, Bulgaria, Croatia up here that I forgot to give a capital. Hold on. Down here, we have this dark red civilization. Now, if I remember correctly, near the beginning of the series, like the first country that was fully in Europe was a dark red country in Peloponnesia right here. So I decided to bring it back. I didn't remember where its capital was, though, so I just placed it right here. We also got a country right here, controlling the Bosphorus Strait. We got the original Caucasus country has returned. We got this kind of pink country here. This country came back. It's not the exact same color, I know. And then we got what was left as an independent country. And that is the death of the Ottomans. Oh, and I forgot to... Ukraine also got Crimea out of it, if you remember that. Now, the fall of the Turkish Empire, Mediterranean Empire here, it just shocked the entire globe. all the way down to where Cambodia is still fighting Cambodia. That's not over yet. Um, Persia is very pleased, and definitely had no involvement in this. Neither did any other country. Um, none, none that I can think of. No. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. But, yep, Turkish Empire is done. They still hold on to Cyprus, but even that might not last. Even that might not last long. So yeah, now Europe is open for a new empire. Taking auditions next episode. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about something else. Um, the red country's very sudden collapse last episode has the other two aggressive powers here very like nervous now about their own empires. Um, so Central India, despite having three fresh, weak neighbors, isn't actually going to go to war, which is going to give time for alliances to build. Triangle alliance here is going to grow. Hold on, let me select. Where's the triangle? Right there. Okay. So this country that so this is basically the country that the red team and Central India split last episode before the red team collapsed. It basically just got its independence straight away. And you remember, it desperately wanted to join this alliance. So now that's independent again, it's going to do that. On top of that, this large, I'm not really sure what to call this, color civilization is also going to join. And this country is going to be accepted into the alliance. So now we have 3 new members in the alliance. So yeah, that is alliances. Um, so now that Turkey's gone, Persia's not really sure what to do besides, I mean, like, their alliance, its whole purpose doesn't really exist anymore, so they're just gonna get rid of it. But it doesn't change the fact that Oman is their puppet state. Oh, which reminds me, capital cities, erase, need to go down to 1 pixel. Since Turkey pretty much doesn't exist anymore, yeah, Egypt is not their puppet state anymore. They broke away. Let's go. The Circle Alliance isn't going to break apart though, because all these nations still value like having the blue team as a protector. Besides North Africa here, they are going to leave, but the other 3 nations are going to stay in. Um, Now this episode, I'm not really sure what else to do for this episode. Like the entire thing I wanted to do was just the fall of Turkey. This episode is probably very short, but I have to go do something now, and I've been recording for an hour, with like half of which is probably just doing this peace treaty. So this is actually going to be the end of this video. If I don't think it's long enough, I'll probably just call it like episode 19.5 or something. If it's like under 15 minutes, I don't know if I'll call it a real episode. Um, but yeah, that's the end. I'm probably going to call it here. See you guys later.